Well, we're definitely live, but at the moment I'm getting James May looking at Japanese bums.
Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to round 7 at Belgium, contest speed tier 1. I am joined this evening by Jack, J. Apprentice, and Mr. Wizard. Good evening.
Evening.
Great to be here. Good evening.
So I think it's live because my Twitch is very laggy, but
we are definitely live.
Perfect.
Definitely live. Can certainly see a couple of cars already out on the circuits. A lot of people starting to build up to their first runs. Interested to see really exactly what people's strategies are. I've seen a lot of drivers of soft tyres, so looks like nobody's going for the medium gamble as of yet.
Well, Simply is the first one out on track, so we'll stay on with Simply. He's starting his lap now. We always go with the first driver, don't we?
The speed with which the whole field's come out of the pit lane makes me think it might rain halfway through this session.
Yeah, looking at it, it does look quite panicked, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's still people in the pits, yeah.
You know, it seems a lot of drivers are a lot closer than you'd want to be if you wanted to get the clear lap in. So it looks like some of these, you know, they're either trying to take a risk and trying to get round quickly, or a lot of drivers just simply want to get a banker lap in first. Obviously, we haven't got the weather forecast, so we can't see exactly. As simply leaving very little margin for error on the entrance to Lecom now. So through Malbadoo goes down to the downhill Rivage hairpin.
Oh, locks up a little bit though, but nothing too bad there.
No
Not losing much speed.
given there. Certainly no quarters given there, showing that can have no respect whatsoever as he flies down the corner with no name.
Poor no name.
Championship leader Montana going through no name on a bit of a wild one.
And let's just see, he's very close behind actually, Simply. He's only about 4 seconds behind on the racetrack. Now as Simply heads through Stavilo, Montana is in very short order.
Simply unfortunately just validates before Blanchimont.
So he's invalidated, probably on the run out of Stavilo. Very easy to run wide there, and obviously with this game being incredibly tight, I think it's fair to say, on track limits. Certainly a lot harsher than in recent years.
I'm on board now, it's later.
Qualifying to be made a loss, can't it, by just how wide you run. I've got Montana now, he's going on for his first lap, just come through the bus stop chicane, fires it out, stays to the right hand side obviously for the shortest run. DRS open, and it's 141.093 for Montana. And
That's a great banker lap, Jesus.
Not a bad benchmark, is it?
It's later, 141.3, so not that far behind Montana, which is a very good lap for him. He'll be happy with that for a banker.
We've got Vaporizer now coming through as well. He goes second, just 400ths of a second behind his teammate Montana. Mercedes looking as strong here as they do in 2020 in general, to be perfectly honest.
Yorno now coming up to the bus stop chicane as well. He clips first apex, gets a good run now up to the line. A little bit of oversteer, not much.
1 minute 58.6 would suggest he's probably not going to be settling with that lap time. Looks like he may have had off somewhere around the lap.
Ghost is going for another lap, yeah. Yorno said at 141.9 as well, so some good bankers here. People will be improving because track evolution around here is a bit crazy.
Milan now go boxes, so obviously something went wrong on his opening attempt. It's Calzo now coming across the line, 15th at the moment. Many drivers having not set a lap time. He goes to third on a 1 minute 41.261, less than 2/10 off the top, off of Montana and Vaporizer. Set a very strong opening salvo, haven't they?
Ghost invalidates his lap. He'll be extremely frustrated with himself there. Donamo now. Donamo, a bit of a hidden gem in this tier 1. Bit of traffic in front of him right now. Yorno going down to Norname now, but I don't think there should be much interference. Maybe a little bit of dirty air. I don't know what's going on here, but Yorno does not seem to know Donamo is behind him.
I think, I don't know about you, Connor, but whenever you sort of invalidate your first attempt, especially around a track this long,
it's very...
Do you think it adds a bit of pressure, doesn't it? For 100%. Me, anyway, adds an awful lot of pressure. I mean, we're only, your humble EU3 drivers.
We're
peasants. Puts a lot of pressure on us. Yeah, compared to these guys, it puts a lot of pressure on us. And that's a really compact, congested midfield. There, if you make a mistake in this tier with the speed of these guys, you're scrapping around for points, aren't you? Towards
like from what I've seen for this tier, you have to have a good first lap. If you get any damage and you have to pit, you're at the back. If there's no safety cars, you're ruined. Dynamo under the ERS, but up to the line, 141.8, so he will be looking to improve. Calzo with a very good lap there as well. The Red Bull driver, very quick as well. So strategy around here is basically soft, medium, easy. I'm pretty sure it's about eight laps on the softs and the rest on the mediums. If there is an early safety car about lap 5, lap 6, hards can go to the end comfortably. But you could do soft, medium if you wanted, or soft, medium, soft, you know. But yeah, safety cars are very, what's the word, frequent on this track with the likes of Radion taking many lives. So
get Radion wrong, and in the words of Martin Runda, you are straight to the scene, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You get that wrong. The car very twitchy through Rouge and up through Radion. You never
on board
feel
now
it,
with
really.
the McLaren of Yelt. He's going up to Radion now.
Champ Fruit about to start a flying lap as well in the Williams.
Ooh, I'll go back on board to him in a second now.
You've got Yelt then climbing. The canal straight is so long, you never feel like you gained in that much speed, especially when you're in race trim. Very, very long, steep uphill curve now as he goes through Malmedy now.
Just invalidated, unfortunately.
But no, that is an invalidation. Obviously on this particular game, no margin for error whatsoever.
Now I'm on with Fruit now. Let's see what... Oh, the session no longer exists on my screen.
Oh dear.
I have no idea what just happened there.
Right, we'll get you back.
In theory, I should be the lobby host now, but
no idea
we'll
what
see
just
what
happened.
happens. I will invite.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. I have no idea what just happened there.
Left the session at this point.
Yeah, it's just Connell that's left so far.
Yelt's has also gone just now.
Oh, Yelt's gone. We'll invite Yelt as well.
He had just invalidated. We've got contestant speed Thomas going across the line. Obviously, you can't see this, so it's going to be radio contest.
Oh, radio show!
And late on the brakes into last source, just misses the apex now, but it's not a bad thing because he can just fire off the exit a little bit quicker. Downhill now, this is probably one of the most satisfying parts of the track, isn't it? Downhill right into that Rouge left-hander. Up here now over Radion. The car looks very settled now as he heads up the Camel straight. Just ages now, seconds for a bit of a rest before you spot your braking point into Lecombe.
All those Dutch Max Verstappen fans will be supporting Thomas and Fruit and the various other Dutch drivers we've got in the league
The
tonight.
Dutch are very passionate fans. Let's see if they take it to their contest of speed as our main commentator and host, Connell, joins back.
Hello.
We promote ourselves to COS TV again.
Yes.
We're back.
The radio sucked.
Radio card. Right, so now just looking to see who's finishing a lap. Well, Jacob won't be, he's just invalidated.
Thomas has just invalidated at Pouhon.
I'm going to go on board.
Just ran a little bit too wide there.
He's just gone 9th.
I'm going to go on board with the current, what's it called? Pole?
Championship leader and pole sitter.
Yes.
Montana to Mercedes 1-2 again. Never seen this before. Tier 1 trying to
up to Rouge
best
now
to copy real life.
Takes as much curb as he likes there. He gets that exactly right up the Kennel straight now. No traffic in his way whatsoever.
A lot of drivers all
up
on
now to Lecombe. Hits the first apex. Let's go across this one a little bit. Might also set the car a little bit up now. Down towards...
We've got Ghost, who's now nearly 3/10 of a second up on his first time. A little bit of a kick of oversteer through Malmedy. The man's currently sat in 12th on a rather pedestrian one at 58.690 as Conzo returns back to the fold.
Only half a tenth of a second between the two Mercedes drivers at the front at the moment. Can anyone come and challenge them?
Big Slater won't be improving, he's just invalidated and he pits, much like his teammate Jacob in the other half. And also
Jacob and Slater are very...
Tenth and a half up is Montana as he comes into the final sector.
Leaves it in 7th a bit longer than I thought he would there. He might run out of ERS, or he just might. It's very easy to run out of ERS on this track because it's so long you know, it doesn't give you so much battery, you know what I mean?
Scrub off any speed, True Blanchimon there, hit the apex for the first part of the bus stop. Get on the power as quickly as you can, stay to the right.
And a 1:40.967, so he lost a little bit of time there on that back straight country Blanchimon on the bus stop. So.
Ghost, meanwhile, goes on a 1:41.792, goes up to 7th, a much better lap, and certainly much more representative. But yeah, Montana eking his way further forward, very much as Mercedes tend to do now during the final qualifying session. They sort of leave you thinking, oh, maybe they can be caught, and then just right at the end, pull it out of the bag, and I see that very much being the case here. Don't count out later though. They're only a couple of tenths off of Vaporizer, still all to play for.
And Calzo is always very handy in that Red Bull. He's invalidated this current lap time though, so he'll be coming straight into the box to get some fresh softs on.
Just misses the apex, and One now down to Puan. He clips the apex, he's done that absolutely beautiful. A little bit wide now up to the, I forgot what it's called. What's the chicane called?
Fanya.
Fanya chicane, yeah. Foreign languages is not my strong point, I may say. I have the corner names up on Google here, so we're sorted. Oh, he's 4 tenths up currently, so he's on for a 1:41.4. Let's see now, will he gain any more time going down?
He could get as high as 4th with Dynamo, couldn't he?
Yeah, if he gets a good bus stop here, he could be up to 4th, even 3rd, if he gets a really, really good last sector.
You lose a lot of speed.
Hard of the brakes now, up to the bus stop. Misses the apex a little bit, not too much. Clips that one perfectly. Oh, gets a bit of oversteer in the car. He might lose a bit of time there up to the line now. He gets a 1:41.626.
Yeah, he lost a good 10th.
Yeah, he lost at least a 10th.
Yeah, just eager to get underway, wasn't he? Coming out of the final corner.
I'm on board now, but Yelt, who has yet to set a time. He's coming up now to the bus stop. Let's see what he does. Runs out of VRS. He might have a little bit. Yeah, takes that very good. Leaves no speed in there at all. Up to the line now, easy on the throttle, up to the line, and he goes second, 1:41.003.
Excellent lap there.
Brilliant lap.
Is happy. I'm loving the Belgian-styled helmet as well that Yelp's got going on.
It's kind of a Sebastian Vettel kind of a vibe, isn't it? And I just noticed we have a Tier 2 driver, Stumpy. Hello, Stumpy. How are you this evening, sir? Right.
Stumpy will be starting from the back as he joined.
Yes.
Through qualifying, so good to see a McLaren at the front. Hopefully we'll be seeing a bit more of that next year in real life when they have the OP Mercedes engine.
Hopefully.
Right, well, we'll need to
I personally want to see that as well. I want to see that McLaren in with a Merc engine. It will be absolutely fantastic. I just hope it does not go back. Yeah, I think so.
2022, aren't we? Really, to try and...
Yeah. I honestly do think Renault is going to be very good in 2022 because they're obviously such a huge empire of manufacturing cars as well. They have that kind of power there, you know. So simply now up to the line, up to bus stop chicane, excuse me. He lost up a little bit. Oh, he goes into pits. I think he was unhappy with that lap. So everyone, I think, will start to come out now. What about?
Milan's the first one out. He's halfway through an out lap at the moment, so.
Becomes a bit of a rat race trying to get out of the pit lane, doesn't it? I think Milan's probably been quite sensible.
Fruitful now is out on his lap his out lap as well, so I think I might go on board now with Fruitful when he starts his lap because I believe he is a very good championship contender. So everyone now coming out for their laps again.
And the two Mercedes leaving in unison.
Yeah, like they always do as well. It's good to see Yelt split in two Mercedes. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. One to watch here is not being biased all towards my friend, but Big Slater. He does like this track, so I think he's on for a good lap here.
He's currently sat 6th at the moment, but
he's in a great position. In fairness, he'll be happy with 6th, but he wants to. Slater
improvement leaves him, up to sort of 2nd or 3rd place. You know, he needs to take a couple of tenths off. Yeah. He's right up there in the podium.
Slater can get a low 40.8. Sorry, so I know what he can do. He's done it before many times.
It's the Renault of Milan that starts us off going into La Source. Is he going to catch up that absolute train of cars on the Kemmel Straight now?
Yeah, he might have a little bit of traffic in the maybe end of sector 2, starting sector 3, but it shouldn't be too bad, I don't think.
The rock
train
line, he
going
should
on.
be fine, but that is a hell of a train he's going to have to pick his way through.
Yeah, it's a bit like Monza, surprisingly, for such a huge track. And Fruitful now is starting his lap as well, so I'm going to stay on board with Fruitful, who is the People's Champ. Let's go, Champ.
Neither Williams has completed a successful lap, have they? Neither Fruitful nor Thomas.
Yes, both Williams have not.
Both of whom are very handy in the races, so they'll want to be getting a bit further up the grid.
Thomas is very good coming up through the field, but
we've not seen a single medium tyre, which makes you think maybe we've got a wet start to the race. We haven't got that information.
That's what I'm thinking, and especially when you when someone pointed out that no one's coming out of the pits for straight away. Yeah. Fruitful has currently the fastest sector 1.
Right, the train in front of Milan is now going to start trying to make space for itself, and that's where they're going to be beset upon by an angry yellow Renault.
He comes now down through. I think he should be just about okay. There's only the one McLaren.
Oh, Fruitful is on a flyer here, I think. Fruitful has done no name, literally to the centimetre. Oh, he's invalidated the Puon. He invalidated the Puon. He will be.
Yelt has moved out of the way very well.
He timed that perfectly, Milan, didn't he?
So he's going to cross the line now. It's not a stellar lap, but it's a 1 minute 41.8, so it puts him 13th.
Improves his time a little bit more respectable. I mean, it is at the end of the train, but it is in keeping with the other times, and if you can get yourself within the ballpark, you're going to be somewhere decent in the race.
Yellow sector 2, I think that is a slow car. On board now with Yelt. See can he improve his time and go for pole.
It's either an Alfa Romeo or a Williams.
Ooh, there is a racing point off, I think. I think it's Simply who is retired into Lecombe.
He has crashed at Malmedy, I think.
Yeah, he's spun it at Lecombe.
Looks like the angle he's gone at. He's come off the apex of Lecombe and then tried to gather it all up.
Oh, Montana has validated his last lap. I just went on to him there to see the sector times. So it is now all up to Yelt to see can he get snatch pole from Montana, which would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, hang on, Vaporizes a tenth and a half up on his lap.
Ooh, Yelt loses the car a little bit through Puon. He literally went in sideways. That was a great shot. Slater did improve his time by 10, so he's currently in 5th place. But Calzo is also on a lap. Vaporizer improved. Wow, 140.8.
Very smooth.
And Yelt just invalidated.
I was just on board with him.
I'm on board with Calzo. Calzo was 2/10 up on his time. He's on for a 149.9 here. Let's see if he gets a good bus stop.
He could challenge the front row with this. He locks up into the bus stop, but it's nice
up to the line on general throttle. DRS open up to the line. He gets a 140.936. He splits the two Mercedes. Love to see it.
Yeltsin is not going to improve. He's pulled out of the way.
So
Hamilton drops down to 3rd. Cos Bottas takes pole.
So both Williams P17, P18
will not complete a lap, invalidated on all 3 attempts.
So if there is rain, to be honest now, I doubt there's going to be rain with those times. If people are on, what's it called? Sorry, dry setups. If there was wet setups, I would have been most likely everyone would have been in the 41s.
You'd be a brave man, wouldn't you? A very brave man to go to gamble with a wet, especially at Spa when it's wet.
A dry setup.
Maybe it's just a wet start.
It could be just be literally soft at the start, but the track could be damp. Or it could, as you said, literally could be 5 or 6 laps on inters or something like that. It could try out.
Brilliant pole lap for Vaporizer though, lads. And I think, given that Calzo has split the Mercedes, this gives Vaporizer the perfect opportunity to try and get that elusive race victory.
Yes. What Blades have to say, does Thomas not want that T-shirt? Oh, that's funny.
Half a second covering the top 10.
Right, so I think, Jack, if you want to run through the drivers there, Jack.
So it's Vaporizer on pole ahead of Calzo, Montana in the 2nd Mercedes, then the McLaren pair of NSX Yeltsin and VR46 Bolin. Vic Slater is the first of the Haas drivers in 6th, ahead of Don Amo in 7th, Ghosts in 8th, Giorno NSX in 9th for the AlphaTauri, and the top 10 rounded out by Jacob in the 2nd Haas. just half a second off pole. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this race pans out. Very close
Matrix up to 11th. Very good lap for Matrix as well. Nice to see him up there as well.
It's one of the better places to start during the midfield, isn't it?
Yeah,
obviously 11th place. You've got free tyre choice. You've got
especially
a bit of free
the toe
rein.
you're going to get up the Camel Straight.
Camel Straight. You don't want to be leading a big gaggle, do you, into Lacombe?
And it is a dry start.
Certainly a dry start, which makes me think there might be some rain expected in the middle. It is Spa, so it's not exactly beyond the realms of possibility.
Why am I in a car? Oh, for goodness sake.
Dear.
Can I get another invite, please? It put me in a car because it was there was a spare car. And I tell you one thing, I am not racing with those guys, thank you very much. Can I have another invite, please?
Yeah, we will invite you. That's
God.
a spectacular gaff there on Connell's part.
I would drive, but I wouldn't.
That would certainly bring an extra level of immersion in.
Yeah. It would indeed.
Shot of the driver, couldn't we, as we commentated on the race and then interviewed the driver halfway through.
It's the fact this always happens with me. Oh, I readied up. I forgot to spectate. It's okay. I shouldn't be in another car, I don't think. If I left, then yeah, it should be fine. Oh my god.
As long as it doesn't park you in a car. Now, the predicted stop strategy, very close actually. Just 2 laps between the soft, starting on the soft and the hard, switching onto the hard from about lap 6 or lap 7, whereas it goes from lap 8 onwards for the medium tyres. 22 laps of this 4.35 mile circuit. It's just over 7 kilometres.
It's nice to see my ghost there, you know, chilling.
These details are making me moist.
19 corners and flipping through the lovely rolling hills of the Ardennes Forest.
Oh, I could have just retired, couldn't I, Rosa? Yeah, I could have just retired
Well,
on track, couldn't I?
I've decided that I want Vaporizer to win now. One, because he's a really good lad in the chats we've had with him in the podium
yeah, and he's
room afterwards.
been very close to wins in the past.
He's got the skid lid of the great Michael Schumacher as well. For this Belgian Grand Prix. I think he normally does as well, so representing the GOAT of Formula 1.
Representing certainly a true icon in Formula 1, and we of course send our best wishes to Michael Schumacher and hope for his continued recovery.
Indeed, and his son Mick's doing pretty handy in the F2 at the moment, isn't he?
Something a bit off topic though on F1, the PlayStation 5 prices have just become available.
Okay.
So there you go, Contest of Speed fans, don't forget, it's only going to be £450 to get your hands on next year's game.
So €500 for the Europeans, best currency. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be £450, and then for the digital edition it's going to be £350 or €400.
So if it is 450
or 49,000 yen.
Yeah, so if it's £450, that means it'll be worth about €26 by the time the current government has finished. But anyway, I think we're getting off topic now as we come through to finish the final, or just finish the formation lap now as Vaporizer does his burnouts and sets himself on the grid. It's become a bit spaced out though, especially
Vaporizer is very quick formation laps.
A little bit slow, isn't it?
About 14th. It is Konzo holding up a nice little train. That's bad news for the leaders. Obviously, the tyres do cool off, and it does make a difference.
Right, so all cars
on cold tyres.
All the cars now come up to the grid.
Including Connell's AI car.
Yes.
This will be fun.
Yes.
You can commentate on your own AI car, Connell.
Yeah. Let's go, Connell. Let's go.
The race goes on.
Let's go. Show your stuff. Show your strengths. Which is not much. Anyway, right. If I can get a better camera angle, it will be fantastic. What is going on here? Oh, for God's sake.
If you go down to P3, you can get a good angle.
Oh, for God's sake, it's after putting me in a car.
And we are away now into the first corner. It's a great start from the McLaren. I think it's VR46 Bolin. He's certainly up into 3rd place. Not a great start for Montana. He's back to 5th.
He's being swamped by McLarens.
So yeah, Vaporizer Ray Calzone 2nd. Oh, Montana and Bolin going side by side into... Oh, that was scary stuff.
A lovely run on Vaporizer now as they go down the Kemmel Straight. It does look now as if Calzo is going to be into the lead now as he goes around the outside.
And Montana does an audacious move.
But Montana takes the ball. He was fourth coming out of the first
Vaporizer
corner.
off the inside as well of Montana. Vaporizer's now back into the lead. Oh, there is a McLaren going off there. That was Bowman.
And there's a heart in strife. There is a heart in strife. It looks like Jacob's gone for a spin in the sandpit. And he spins it back around, but he's going to be hampered from there. He's not likely to be scoring any points now. It doesn't look like he's nursing the car. It doesn't look like there's too much damage, though. The front wing looks intact, but the rear wheels don't as he spins again at Rivage. Not been a great first lap for the Haas driver. With his teammate Big Slater now having moved up into fifth amongst all the chaos at Lecombe.
And Montana, who's gone from third to fifth to first to second. It's been an adventurous lap for the championship leader so far.
Van Vaporizer's job now is to get out of the DRS of Montana because it is a huge DRS train on this track. So
yeah, if you are
Slater all over the back of Berlin for P4. He's going to go around the outside at Blanchimont. Berlin pushes him wide. That was a bit cheeky.
That's not going to work, and that's going to annoy Big Slater now. That'll fire him up, and it normally
yes, 100% that will fire him up. Knowing him, he'll be seeing red.
The combative Irishman remains fifth for now.
Montana in the pits. Montana's disconnected, has he?
No, I think
gone see-through for me.
He's still on track for me.
No, I think the ever reliable Formula 1 servers have done their best. It still remains that the Mercedes of Montana is second, Vaporizer leads, and Calzo remains in third for the time being. He has got to see through.
Dynamo now on the back of Slater going up the canal straight into... Ooh, yeah, Slater just hangs that round the outside.
Oh yeah, I've got the lovely glitch making it look like it's lap 3.
Meanwhile, also in strife is Contest of Speed Stumpy. He's now... Well, he did say that he'd fallen back, but it's now actually NSX Mad who's pitted for a set of hard tyres, which tells me that it is going to be a dry race. It's Mads, who is coming up as the leader of mine anyway, but he is at the back.
Slater, I think, has a lot more downforce than his competitors because he was a bit weak in sector 1 there behind Berlin, but he's clawed right way back up to Berlin.
Connell, you'll know a little bit more, obviously, being close with Slater. How does he normally like to set his cars up? He certainly has a lot more grip all the way up until Stavilo, and then just seems to fall farther back.
Well, I know him. He does like a lot of rear end in his setups. He doesn't have much front end in his setups. I'm very opposite. I like a lot of front end. So, I know he'll be running very low front end wings, but it'll be interesting to see now what he actually does. Ooh, Yelt hits the back of Dynamo, I think. It's a little bit laggy on my street.
Sort of had to pull out of a move on Slater because Slater was
the AlphaTauri of Yorno into the wall. He took a big spin. I've no idea what happened there. Oh my goodness, Yelt to Dynamo. Yelt is lagging into Dynamo. I've no idea what's happened there. It's that thing where it's pushing him off track.
With little more than a bruised tyres, I think, looking at it. The front wing certainly looks intact. He's raced.
Oh, Montana going for a move on Vaporizer now. Montana goes on the outside of Vaporizer. Oh, he gets it just before the Lecombe. Yeah, Vaporizer now is just going to save his ERS and stay within that, what's it called, DRS zone.
Yes, the DRS window obviously being one.
Let's see now how Slater picks up now on Bullin. He's 7 tenths behind now going into the twisty turny sections of this track. So let's see what if he can make up any time. It's all kind of quiet now at the moment. Fruitful up 3 places. Thomas up 8 places. He is the biggest winner at the...
He did say it was very handy in the race. He's also on medium tyres, so when these tyres do go off, he's left himself a little bit more options, a little bit more room to play that with strategy. Dynamo already has a 3-second penalty as well on lap 3. That normally heralds trouble. Now there's the Renault, who has moved up 4 places. Started the race.
Dynamo's gone off! He's gone off just before Blanchimont into the wall. I just got this virtual safety car now. He got on the apex and just lost the car. I just saw that there. Oh, Dynamo.
Hits the inside wall, bounces out to the outside.
Well, Montana go into the pits. Montana stays out. So does Vaporizer, so does Calzo. I think they're all going to stay out. I think they have another, another 5 or 6 laps anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't pit now.
Unseen by us really, Cos Thomas all the way up to P9 on his medium tyre, having started from the back.
I said that, yeah. And Fruitful only up to P12, 5 places up now.
Matrix has pitted.
Let me actually see what tyres you've belonged, because I haven't actually seen it yet. So yeah, Thomas, Conzo, Fruitful on me. Oh, so 3 into the pits. Right. Yeah, Milan Matrix, Stumpy onto the pits. Jacob into the pits as well. They're all going to the hards, and hards will comfortably go to the end now of this race.
Will they be any quick?
They're okay. They're not too bad.
They'll match the mediums at the end of the race.
We are back going green. We've got Milan Malgo also pitted to 4 drivers now. With
Slipstreaming comes over P10.
Bolin's got a really good run on Calzo there after the first VSC. And Slater was caught sleeping a little bit because he actually lost a bit of time there behind him.
Yeah, you can win a lot on the safety car virtual safety car restarts. If you're even half a tenth quicker than somebody off the line, can gain you, especially down the straights anyway, can gain you 2 or 3 tenths and actually leave you with a bit of room to attack.
Well, I actually found as well, I had a league race last night, same thing. If you actually go a lot slower than the person in front of you, you actually have a way bigger delta, so you can just push once the safety car, first safety car is ending. You can push as hard as you want, and he's still, you know, going along, trotting along, or he or she, sorry, is going along to the delta. So you can get up a lot of time there if you're just a lot more careful. So Slater now, he's a bit of a gap now to Yelp, 1.4 seconds. So
just been on board with Fruit this lap in P11, and he's really struggling for grip out of corners. There's been a couple of instances where he's had a bit of a...
we have seen, though, in the past, haven't we, now, Fruitful and Thomas both having very high downforce setups. I remember it was me and you in Spain.
Earlier in the season, Williams seemed to favour higher downforce and was struggling on the straight.
Yeah, remember in Spain we said it.
But he's really struggling for grip.
Down through Rouge, Vaporizer's lining up a revenge attack on his teammate Montana now. 3/10 the difference. Overtake still not being pressed. He's got it DRS. He's going round the outside and he's got the position. He's leading into Leku.
Oh, Bolin's got to pass Calzo as well.
Are trying to use each other's DRS.
They are in a parity, we know that much.
To try and get away from the chasing pack so they can create their own.
It's a sensible tactic if so. There's you can do quite a lot with team racing in this particular championship. It was used very effectively in EU3 last season, wasn't it? With Stumpy and Tichy both using team racing very, very well, and it can get you a lot. And I think, looking at it, they're 1.3 seconds clear of Bolin, so they've got a lot of room for error.
That was a fun radio conversation, that race. Here and Singapore last year.
Yeah.
With Team Stumpy. Obviously, unfortunately, this season I can't race engineer them driving at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a big loss to everyone.
My brother and I, L-Prentice, before we both started moving into our own places, actually used it quite well in the opening rounds of this particular championship. You remember at Spain, Connell, where things went pear-shaped. Brother held up a couple of people because he got himself a penalty and actually earned me a couple of points, so it's certainly worth doing.
I don't want to talk about Spain this season. I don't want to.
Berlin is not letting them go in this McLaren. He's like, no, Mercedes, I am going to stick to you like glue. He was just outside the DRS there.
If they do the swap, Mercedes are going to need to make sure they don't lose time. It is 6/10 of a second. DRS is open. Overtake is not pressed on Montana. And I don't think he's going to get past. I think he's going to stay behind.
Berlin's just set the fastest lap on the previous lap and he's gained half a second on them. It was only just
Fruitful now going for a move on Conzo for the P10. Yeah, easy done with overtaking DRS. Easy enough move. So, bit of a gap between, 4.8 seconds between Fruitful
but both
and Thomas,
Conzo and Fruit were closing in on Thomas. It was 6 seconds at the restart, down to 4.8 now.
Yeah.
There's a Ferrari at the head of the queue, including Simply and Thomas, which is probably accounting for that. The Ferrari is on softs, And he's only
Jay goes.
only a second or so ahead of Thomas with the Force India, or the Racing Point in the middle. And it's now 4.2 between Thomas and Fruitful. So as you quite rightly say, chaps, that gap is coming down quite quickly.
There is quite a big train though, former from Boland and Calzo and Big Slater as well up on that train as well. So
Yelp just hanging on to the coattails of that, about a second and a half behind. And then it's 2-second gap to the Ferrari, so maybe those medium tyres have started to come into their own. Obviously Thomas can't do much because he's behind a guy that's got DRS.
Mediums still might be a little bit slower. Oh, we have Montana and Yelp both into the pits, so Yelp is pitting.
Ghost and Simply also pits, so the soft runners are coming in. Now, I'll keep an eye on where Montana feeds back out. He's now leading the pit lane.
Onto mediums to the end of the race. So I think they are trying to get an undercut on Vaporizer, Bolin, Calzo and Slater, who probably should pit this lap as well.
And he's out well into clear air. The next car in front is about 5 seconds clear, and that's Konzo in combat with Fruitful now.
Simply will not be happy to still be seeing the rear end of Jordan's Ferrari.
No, he will not.
The delta is 19 seconds between Montana and Vaporizer, so that's about what you need for a pit stop. It was minus half a second, so if you've got 19 seconds in your pocket,
yeah, Vaporizer's using all his overtake now. This lap he has lots of overtake to use, maybe 50, like 60%. So
interesting that Montana, as the number 2 Mercedes on the racetrack, got to jump in first.
Well, he is the championship leader, so maybe that might have a bit of team play behind it. Maybe James has got on the radio and given Lewis
so Fruitful, Thomas and Konzo now all in a very good position because they're all going to go to the lead of the race.
Well, it's a track you can overtake on, so if you have got a significant tyre advantage, you can make progress towards the end, can't you? Especially whether you keep the tyres well or whether...
Let's see if they... Oh, sector yellow 2, that is a Milano off of Puon.
He is in
Vaporizer into the pits.
So Milan has just got onto hard tyres and has now wiped off half his front wing.
Calzo's stayed out.
He's always been quite good on tyres. He could take advantage now if there's a safety car. If his rivals come out the pit lane and then suddenly there's a safety car, he shoes in. But Thomas all the way up to second in his alternate strategy, so the Williams boys have made their way out.
Montana, well, he's going to do it, isn't he, Montana?
He is. As Vaporizer squirms out of the pit exit.
Ooh, yes, Slater just gets ahead of Yelp as well.
The man with extra ERS.
Ooh, Yelp come up to back Slater now with the DRS and the slipstream with the better speed. Oh, they go side by side up to... oh, he hits Slater. Slater was off a little bit. He's fine though. He's still on track. Bit of a heart racing moment there.
Take it straight back.
And the Mercedes complete their swap once again. As Vaporizer does indeed pass Montana, using a bit of DRS and no doubt a little bit of ERS too to get the job done into Lecube, and now order has been restored.
And Bolin has lost lots of time.
He's lost about a second. He was just outside the DRS behind these Mercedes boys in now 2 seconds. But
Yelp has gained the place of 2 as well. I think he's gained the place of 2 as well. Yeah, when he pitted a lap earlier, did he?
I think Calzo at the moment is set to come out behind the limb.
If I'm not mistaken, Yelp has undercut Big Slater and undercut him in quite a way. He's now 1.5 seconds ahead of the combative Irishman, and he's now got his teammate Bolin 2 seconds up the road. So it's not been a great round of pit stops for Big Slater.
Calzo, if he comes in this lap, he's going to drop in between the 2 McLaren boys. He'll need to pit this lap though, otherwise his advantage over Yelp.
He was actually 2 tenths up on his lap, so he had a good lap.
He was in overtake. If you look at his ERS deployment, it had very much...
I'll go board now with Bolin and see if Calzo comes out now in between the 2 McLarens.
I would think the gap that he's got...
Just pass him in the pits there. Let's see if Calzo now comes out. Oh, yeah, just in between both McLarens, so yeah.
So Bolin's got him, but he hasn't got very far clear, is he?
And yeah, sets the fastest lap so far.
Calzo has a lot more take available to him down the Camel Straight. He will have DRS. A lot of ground to make up though in one go. I think Berlin's going to have just enough about him.
Yeah.
The Mercedes once again have swapped places. Montana and Vaporizer getting that tandem working very well as Vaporizer cedes to Montana on this lap. We're now on lap number 9, 13 and a half laps to go, and it's very much all to play for. You've still got the two Williamses out front, still to make their pit stops. With Conzo again, another man who's looking to maybe bring himself back into play a little bit later on. When they pit, they're likely to come out
Simply.
They'll come out and there's a rather big gap between Simply in 11th and Matrix in 12th. So about 11.1 seconds as it stands at the moment. That's a big gap to feed back into. All three are looking very much on course to come out right at the back end of the points paying positions. If you're Simply, you're feeling quite vulnerable at this moment in time.
It'll then be down to seeing whether or not the extra grip they get from the soft tyres will enable them to work their way back up through the points.
Yes, indeed.
So,
are those the skies darkening as well? There are definitely a lot more clouds than there were earlier.
Slightly longer shadows.
It does look still bright, but it is a little bit dark in the third sector.
It is the third sector where it just appears to have clouded over. Certainly the first sector and the second sector still look as dry as they were earlier, but certainly that third sector does look a little bit more cloudy now.
Slater is struggling a lot on these mediums. Well, not struggling a lot, but he's a little bit slower than he was.
Put in a lot of overtake to get a fastest lap.
Jay Ghost now is in the DRS of Slater as well.
So he is. It's not been a good stint at all for Big Slater now. Now 2.7 seconds back behind Yelp. The front wing still looks intact. There's no obvious damage. And Ghost and Simply now are going to be climbing over the back of him sometime soon. The Haas driver certainly not enjoying the early part of this stint.
Right, this is crucial. The Mercedes pair have caught up with Conzo in the middle sector, which is going to give Berlin a chance to catch up. He's only 1.7 now behind Vaporizer, and he's got a couple more corners to wait, the Mercedes boys, before they're going to be able to swamp all over the medium-shod Red Bull.
Be interested to see exactly how hard Conzo fights this now as Montana climbs over the back of him now. It's 4 tenths separated through Stavolo. That's only going to go one way as Montana gets in the DRS. Might even have a go around Blanchimont, but I think he'll probably leave it until the bus stop chicane at the earliest now as they head through Blanchimont. No attacks mounted.
Yeah, Montana is very low on overtakes, so but Vaporizer always has at least
Yellow
half
flag,
more.
Milan has dropped it on the exit of Malmedy, and we have a safety car.
Safety car. Oh, and the leaders have just literally skipped the pit lane. OJ goes into the pits. I think he's going on now.
He's going for it. He always likes to.
He might go for softs.
He's got a free pit stop, hasn't he? He's got a free pit stop because he's going to come out
ahead of his teammate, yeah.
He might go for softs, will he? No, he's going for mediums again.
He has.
Matrix in as well.
Matrix holding everyone up as he comes into the pit lane.
Jacob and Mads probably will all go on to mediums. To be honest,
Giorno that passes him now.
Milan crucially not out, but missing his entire front end.
That's now his third front wing he'll be on when he does finally get back round.
Cyril is going to be fuming.
I don't know why people aren't going on to softs. Softs can comfortably make it. Softs can go 9 or 10 laps
easily. Expect the front three to box for softs.
Certainly, it plays into their hands now. If you're Montana and Vaporizer, you're going to be feeling quite vulnerable, although you are going to have a little bit of a buffer between yourselves and the next soft run cars, which will be probably
interesting. Given the delta, it'll be interesting to see how many of Montana down to Simply also pit for softs, given that Jordan will be being held up by the delta as well.
Yeah,
it's
kind of all thrown up to the air here because the gaps are so big.
If you're Simply, you're coming in for soft, surely. I think Jordan's made a mistake not going for soft.
You'd take a gamble, wouldn't you? You'd take a gamble if you're at the back end of the points. Might as well come in, lose a couple of places.
Slater will surely come in for softs because he's really not liked the mediums, has he?
He does.
Slater, in a lot quicker on the softs.
Yeah, Slater does like to come in for softs. He does anyway. I do like it myself. I do like an all-late safety car in the race, so kind of spices things up. A late
So
safety car.
we're going to
Yeah,
have a
Thomas
double
in.
stack
Thomas
from the
fruitful.
Williams boys.
Konzo is going to go in as well. Yeah. Oh, Wave Risers. Montana stays out.
Mercedes go round. Berlin goes round. Calzo comes round. Yelp
Slater's
comes round.
out, yeah.
Slater stays out. Simply stays out. None of them boxed. Only the three
not
men
boxing.
on the mediums.
Yeah, on the softs now.
start.
Konzo on the softs. Let's botch the both Williams as well. Yeah.
Thomas had a
on the softs.
5-second penalty. That's ruined it for Williams completely.
Oh, that is awful.
5 seconds. He's already got a 3-second penalty for speeding.
He had a
under
5-second penalty that he was serving in the pit lane before doing his pit stop there, which held up fruit, which has meant he's lost out to both Ghost and Yorno.
He's come out 12th, but he is going to be on fresh tyres. All is not lost for the Williams driver.
And
it has hampered him somewhat.
Fruitful is extremely quick on softs, so.
Ponzo, the big winner there now. He's the leader on the alternate strat.
Blaze, the softs right now, if they went to the end, if the safety car's out for another lap or two, probably be around 60%.
Well, if you think the safety car's going to come in at the end of the next lap, I believe, so that means it will be starting racing for lap 14. These soft tyres will only be on 1 or 2% wear come that restart, so they'll have effectively done nothing. That's easy doable there with the softs.
100%. I don't know why the Matrix, Jacob, Mads and Milan did not go on the soft. Sorry, Stumpy Matrix, I don't know why they
just
go on
roll
soft.
The dice. That's what the safety car's there for. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, it's there to stop people crashing while there's an accident. But in league racing, it's a roll of the dice because we don't have to concern ourselves, thankfully, with accidentally killing people.
I am surprised that Moore didn't gamble. Certainly, if you're at the back end of the points, you'd roll the dice. Well. You'd roll the dice. I mean, Ghost I can understand because obviously he pitted with 12 laps to go and he's going to go old strategy, isn't he? Obviously sticking those extra medium tyres on.
To be a bit fresher, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't
actually got Thomas that penalty because my car retired and he had to overtake my car. And he ended up going serving it in the pits, so... Great.
He must have had a really bad start if your AI car on 80 skill overtook him.
Yeah. That's kind of bad, to be fair. I probably would have had a worse start,
at the beginning that he got a penalty for overtaking under
yellow.
So
did I. I thought he might just got a overtake off the track or something.
Well, Fruitful's coming in again, so something's not quite gone right. Interested to see exactly what this tactic is.
And Stumpy's in as well for probably softs, I think, as well.
I'm surprised though that Fruitful's come in again. You really want
some fresher soft.
Seems to me to be a bit of an odd risk to take though when you've got.
Oh, he's on mediums.
He's gone for medium. They've gone for a split strategy at Williams.
Would you know what he's doing here?
No, is the short answer. No. Not a move I'd have made.
Maybe he's not comfortable with the soft tyres. Maybe he didn't have any fresh soft tyres because he did so many laps in qualifying that ended up being invalidated.
What it does mean, though, is that, like you say, he's got free run. He's simply been able to do what he wanted to do, and he can still finish on what would be quite fresh medium tyres. He's 15. He's only lost 3 places.
Well, being honest though, Fruitful's tyres are only on 0 laps. It didn't show used at all.
Yeah, so they're fresh.
I think
soft.
No, they were fresh
now
softs.
They've got fresh mediums. I don't know why. I wondered if he maybe had a 5-second penalty from speeding.
No, he didn't serve anything in the pits at all.
He didn't serve anything into the pit lane. He went straight in. So that was the only thing I was thinking he might be doing. But then when he came into the pits, he didn't have that. So.
Both Mercedes are very, very, very nice to watch here, warming up the tyres. Montana doing a few drifts out of knowing them there. Nice to see. Please don't lose the car.
Montana's on the blower asking if the safety car can go a bit faster, obviously.
Oh yeah. Tyres are too cold. Bono,
lovely to see the We Racers 1 LGBT stripes going around the McLaren now with the latest update.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yes. I do like that, and the Gulf logo in the back looking very nice indeed. Safety car...
Berlin, who had the pace, he was the only man on the track, remember, who had the pace of the Mercedes. Calzo obviously was being dragged forward with him in the slipstream. Who had the pace of the Mercedes. He's now within that gap, so Mercedes will not be able to play the team game anymore. They're going to have to race.
Now snaking up towards Blanchimont.
Conzo nearly just hit the back of Simply very, very well.
Yeah, it's very easy to hit someone there. Let's see now what Montana will book a safety car. Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone early. He's gone before Blanchimont. It's a very early restart.
Let's call a few on napping, I think, as the...
They caught Calzo napping because Yelt overtook him and then Yelt had to let him back again. Berlin is all over the back of Vaporizer, who locks up into the bus stop as we restart for lap 14.
Here comes Thomas on the back of Conzo now as the two soft shot cars try and fight each other. The Red Bull, though, is very, very close to Simply in the Force India. As they head into the last source, and I know it's not the Force India, but it's had so many names over the years, I can't very struggle to keep
it's
up.
Now Aston Martin as well, so Aston Martin for next game.
Only when it's British Racing Green as they head up Rouge now. I think Conzo's going to have Simply here. He's not going to need DRS. He's got ERS pressed. And down the inside he's looking to go.
Yeah, easy move there by Conzo on those softs. He will actually be pressuring Slater as well in the Haas.
Yeah, that's one of the 6 now medium cars left to deal with. As they head now through the twisty parts. Now, if you Montana in, if you Vaporize it, you just go, don't you? No worries about the team game because you've got Bolan behind it, who's a very dangerous opponent on those medium tyres, and you know you've got those soft shod cars coming through.
And remember, Calzo's are a lap fresher as well than the lads in front of him. 2 laps fresher than Montana's and a lap fresher than Vaporizer and Berlin. I would not count Calzo out of this. He's a frequent race winner here at Congress of Speed. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, indeed.
And it really has got dark.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? It's really
over
coming
sector
in.
3, yeah. There could be some rain here, I think, in 3 or 4 laps time.
I'm keeping a watchful eye on the halos for spots.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now as well.
Sending out a man in the field to try and see what's going on.
Thomas off the inside of Simply, locks up a little. Simply breaks his wing. Thomas trying to get past Simply and Simply ended up breaking his wing with a bit of contact.
That's Simply's race done. That is Simply's race done. That's Simply over for him now. As he
off the inside, Zorn off the inside now.
No points there. That's going to be probably one that goes to the shoe, as we would have thought.
Yeah, Thomas did lock up and he actually went into the side of Simply's racing point and broke his wing.
Well,
so
less than half a second
Slater
now, the second Mercedes.
Slater now goes up the back of Yelt. He won't get him into Lecombe, but he will be trying to stay in the DRS. Yeah.
Conzo, meanwhile, has not made any inroads.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually, yeah.
He's not made inroads on either Big Slater or Yelt.
Yeah, he will be a little bit packed there with that exit. It has gone very dark now in this last sector, indeed.
Yeah, this side of the racetrack is perilously grey.
Yeah, and actually, it's been said before, Belgium is such a huge track complex.
Simply letting everyone through.
Oh, sector 2, that is Simply, yeah, sorry, yeah. Someone said before, actually...
Yep, gets a penalty, crucially.
Yeah, that could be huge. Now, if you're McLaren, you play the team game, but that's going to really hamper Yell. Obviously, with the field now closed up, that 3-second penalty will send him at least to 8th place. Thomas,
crucially just inside and outside the DRS to the McLaren in front of him. Vaporizer crucially just inside the one for his teammate, because he's surely going to be coming under attack from Berlin next time by if he drops out of his own DRS.
DRS now enabled.
That's a little bit more strung out though. It's 9/10 of a second between each of the cars of the top 5 cars. Each car is 9 seconds behind the car in front of him. Before Big Slater now being...
Vaporizer is outside of the DRS, but the guy behind him is definitely in his. This could be an interesting move. Up the Camel Straight into Lecombe.
I think it was where the activation points... no, even the detection point. He had a really poor exit then coming out of last source because he was well inside by the time as Bolan nearly gets there. He's only a hair's breadth behind as they go into the braking zone. I don't think that fight's done at all. I think Vaporizer's going to have to play the team game here for Mercedes.
Pass Yorno into the cup.
1.1 seconds clear.
Fruitful pass Yorno.
Thomas has hit an unfortunate gap between him and the car now. He's more occupied with the front behind him than he is with the
You're lagging a little bit there.
Red Bull in front of him.
You've got Conzo again, still not making any inroads on the cars in front. Now it's turned into a bit of a DRS play.
There's actually a bit of more of a gap now. It was 1.7 a lap ago. It's now lost 5/10 somewhere. I think it was because Thomas overtaking Yorno.
Quite possibly, and the softs do get quite fragile, so if you can't follow and the car
Fruitful, by the way, up to 10th now after going back onto those mediums.
So Truthful's found his way back into the points now with the Ferrari.
And he is now hunting down J Ghosts. And he should get past Ghosts, I would assume. 2 lap fresher mediums.
Well, Ghost is only
Simply's gone on to the soft, so
it's going to be this lap, I think, the change for P2, because Berlin has a little bit more ERS. He also has the DRS at the top of the hill, because Vaporizer is well and truly lost from Montana now.
And he's also all over.
And he gets a way better exit up through. Ready on. ERS and overtake now. Yeah, Vaporizer isn't even going to fight that, to be fair.
Don't think he needs a DRS. He's gone a Vaporizer. I don't think he's going to be coming back from that.
Now, can he get within a second of Montana? Who's got the legs? Because Berlin has been picking his way through the field all race. Can he go that one step further?
McLaren's very wide there.
Very strong race for McLaren.
It's a bit of a bull-in train now at the moment.
I tell you what, Vaporizer he's not slow, is he?
No, he's not indeed, no.
The back end stepping out there.
Yeah, it is nice to see there.
Send that straight to the wall.
Calzo and Yo in this as well, as is Slater. Conzo just outside of the DRS train. Thomas well and truly falling back. His teammate is stuck in this as well. It looks like Ghost and Fruitful were actually right to go for the mediums. The softs were not the way to go.
Yeah, the softs have gone, haven't they? Thomas is 3.2 seconds behind Conzo, so still a second behind Slater. So those soft tyres have really started to overheat and really gone off now, haven't they?
Yeah, the softs at this point though are better.
Through Blanchimont with Ghost, pushing him through Blanchimont. Double switch.
Oh God.
Switch back from through.
He gets a good exit now on those fresher mediums. That's an easy move.
On the outside for La Source. Ghost won't give it up.
Yeah.
Maybe he
does. Fruitful gets very close to his teammate Thomas there. I think there will be.
Now surely the switcheroo is about to happen.
Thomas is using his overtake, so I don't know if he'll fight this. I'm not sure. I think Thomas might just pull Fruitful along.
So, with regards to the lead battle, Berlin is now only 1.3 seconds behind Montana.
I don't think.
6/10 up on
Oh, look at J Ghost overtaking Thomas as well. He got past Thomas. He went for a move on Fruitful as well.
Oh, and Thomas clips the back of J Ghost there. Not realising how wide this front wing was, unfortunately. For the
Did he get damage? I
missed that damage. Okay. No damage there. He's alright.
Conzo has lost a lot of time to Slater in this last lap. He was 9/10, it's now 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, the softs have gone, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not the way.
Softs have balled up and gone, haven't they?
Softs can make it, but they're not going to be competitive. Oh, Vaporizer picks up 3 seconds.
God, that could be crucial.
Can someone
I will have a look for you, don't worry. And now Milan's gone again on the exit of Pouhon.
It's not been his race, is it?
No.
He spent half of his time facing backwards in strife. That is the third front wing that he's damaged now. So he'll have to be coming in.
Simply's going to make him place here with his pit stops. So yeah.
I don't think he'll necessarily be thrilled at the prospect of potentially moving up to 16. But like you say, it is another place gained for Simply after what was a rather horrible restart for him.
Front two lads are clean. Vaporizer on 3 seconds. Calzo is clean. Yolt has 3 seconds.
Slater is
Golden Wizard Award.
Yeah. Not leaving a warning, no?
Nope.
Yeah.
Another 2 tenths down on the gap between Montana and Berlin. He's slowly chipping away, that McLaren.
This
I don't
could
think
be
the lead
box
battle's
office.
done. I don't think this lead battle's done at all. Vaporizer still not
Oh,
making any
Milano's
inroads.
retired in the pit.
In the pit lane. And simply with the fastest lap on his new soft tyres at the back. Fair play to him.
Jay Ghost is doing a very good job here to keep up with Fruitful as well.
He's been very
Staying
handy
in that-
recently as Jay goes.
Staying in that DRS. Oh, Jay Ghost goes very wide. He gave him confidence curse there, Wizard. He
He's
locks up and goes
unfortunate
very
in the
wide.
sense that he did do his pit stop and he's been caught up in the Williams train
Yeah.
because he'd be in that group with Big Slater.
He would be indeed. Yeah, Konzo, those softs are just gone now, so yeah. I don't think Fruitful will catch
Pull in
him.
with the
but-
penalty.
Oh! So,
And if Montana can stay clean, then this will be his to run. But Berlin has to try and, even more, he has to try and get into Montana's personal space and force a mistake from him now as well.
He's got to start to try and frighten him off the road a little bit and start to worry him. I mean, you won't be doing that at 1.3 seconds back. So he's got to get within that DRS zone and hope that Montana hasn't asked his engineer about the driver behind.
Montana probably will know that by now, though, I think.
Because if he has, he'd just let him through and stick with him, I think.
I think we'll see certainly in the next couple of laps, but it is 1.3 seconds, so I don't think he's got to worry about that for the time being. Vaporizer still a second behind, just inside that
DRS
DRS.
part,
Hanging
yeah.
on to that podium and hanging on to that.
Big Slater's not out of this yet. He's in 6th place, only 4 seconds back.
Oh, he's just got into
meanwhile,
the
is
DRS,
falling
though.
backwards.
Oh, Yelt might... Oh, yeah, he won't go saying. Yelt has no overtake whatsoever to go for a move on Calzo.
Neither does Bolin. He's very, very low on overtake. Now, the other battle
Calzo,
is...
though, has 50%, though. Calzo could go for... If he gets a really good run on Vaporizer now, up into Blanchimont, he could get a good move on him here. He's a lot of ERS at his disposal here.
Gap between
But
7th place
Vaporizer
Congo,
has a good bit too,
8th
though.
place Fruitful has been coming down and been coming down quite rapidly. It's now 2.6 seconds, 2.7 seconds now, whereas just a few moments ago it was over 3 seconds. So it's not quite the Hollywood's battle, but the battle for 7th place is also not done. I fear over the next couple
Oh,
of laps.
Calzo picks up 3 seconds!
Well, if you outkick, I think this puts Slater in position for
For
a
a podium, yeah. Slater
fact,
needs to keep
P2
this clean.
is possibly on for... P2 is currently on for Slater.
Yeah, he's 2.8
2.9
seconds behind Bolin, who is the man in danger. And also still has no overtake remaining. But he is still at 1.3 seconds behind the
All
Mercedes.
the people in this train ahead of him have those 3 seconds, so yeah, he's on for a good one here with Slater. He'll be getting his revenge on the McLaren that pushed him wide at Blanchimont on lap 1. He won't have forgotten that in a hurry.
He will have not forgotten that at all. He's probably talking about it now, to be honest.
Yeah, knowing Slater as I do, having raced with him, he's got a very, very long memory. And as now we head into the middle sector for the penultimate time.
Still
NFX
just
Montana
outside.
Still holding that 1.2 second lead. Mind you, it's still all to play for behind because Bolin and Vaporizer separated by only half a second now. Vaporizer's deciding he wants to come back at this. He wants to have another go. Maybe he might still stay on the on the podium.
Jacob with a stereotypical late surge through the field. He's up to 9th now on his mediums. Been a bit anonymous in the first half of the race, but the half tried and making his way through.
Yeld and Big Slater going at it, hammer and tongs. It's now just 1.5 seconds between Konzo and Fruitful. That battle's not done at all for the 7th spot. The Red Bull is going to be coming under some late pressure from the Williams, who's been he's fought manfully to come back through the field after what was a rather difficult safety car period for Fruitful.
Yeah, proving why he's one of the very best that we've had. I think statistically he is the most successful championship speed driver.
It's all gone a little bit boring now. With the last few laps, it's all kind of a big DRS train. Really, there's not much happening.
Campbell get within
Oh,
that 1
Calzo!
second.
Oh my goodness! Look how close Vaporizer and Calzo now are to Bolin.
And I think the Renault driver Milan Malgo has left the garage and gone to the motorhome, hasn't he?
Gone to the golf course, I think.
Yes.
Tanner out of La Source with overtake fully depressed.
Now,
Berlin can't get within
has
it.
30% left, and he's pressing that overtake. He's got a lot more overtake left. Calzo himself as well also has just 20% left.
This could crucially be for P3 when penalties all come across.
That's one dealt with Bolin. He's just maxed out a battery. Calzo's probably not finished either. He's still got 23% left.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to have a big old
and he's
run
on
down.
lap pressure tyres. Bolin picks up another 3 seconds. 6 seconds now for
Falling
Bolin.
apart for the McLaren driver now.
That's his goose cooked. He'll be heading towards 7th or 8th place. Fruitful could be on for 6th place here now as he's caught
2.9
right up
seconds
Conzo.
between Slater and Vaporizer. It's going to be so close between them. Is Slater going to get P3? Is he going to get P2 from the Mercedes?
I think Slater's
He's just outside it now.
McLaren ahead now, isn't he? With 7 tenths. Yelt has rather fallen off the back of the battle for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Montana has dropped back tons in these last couple of laps.
He's just gone, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's absolutely gone.
Has his tyres gone? They are a lap older than everyone else's.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a run? He's got it in overtake. Is there going to be a dive by the second Mercedes into the
Oh, they
stop?
both have nothing. I'm going to stay on board with Vaporizer. Still picks up 3 seconds. Excuse the voice crack.
It's a race to the end, but he thinks better of it.
Let's see now what happens. So Montana going to come across the line now to
It's gonna be so
win
close.
the Belgian Grand Prix, and Vaporizer and Bolin. Where does Slater come out? Slater up to
Slater
third, gets the podium.
Third.
Calzo in fourth.
300ths of a second off second. Vaporizer did just enough by slipstreaming Montana. Maybe Montana gave his teammate a bit of a pull along there, which just helped him into P2. Great race from Slater though. We had to watch the back of Yelp's McLaren for the entire race after he pushed him wide at Blanchimont.
0.38 seconds. Wow.
0.038.
Sorry, yeah, he missed out on the podium with that much. Second place, sorry. Oh my goodness, that was a very stressful last couple of laps there. A little bit boring in terms of DRS trains, but yeah, good race. Fruitful picks up driver of the day after
I agree
coming
with
from
that.
the
Great
back. Yeah, I
drive
do
back
indeed.
after
Yeah,
the poor safety
Yeah,
car for Williams.
and in fairness, he did pit. He did pit twice during the safety car, and onto a slower tyre.
He made it all look a bit daft, really. We all sort of questioned why he was doing it.
Bit of a selfie. Ah.
I would argue that Slater is also another candidate for driver of the day.
Yeah.
Just hung around, didn't he?
Good old Michael Schumacher over there. He loves that skin. He does. Right, so let's run through the results. So Montana takes another win to extend his championship lead. Vaporizer second, Big Slater third for a very good race, no penalties whatsoever. Calzo fourth, fifth for Yelt. Bolin in sixth, Fruitful in seventh after a really good drive up from the back. Jay Ghost in eighth, good results for him. Both Rebels actually in top 10. Conzo in ninth, Jacob in 10th. Around the points, Matrix in 11th. Good to see Matrix not at the back for once. 12th for Thomas, Stumpy in P13, and then Yorno P14, Mads 15, Simply 16th, and then our retirements were sadly myself, Donamo, and Milan. So yeah,
unlucky Hornell.
Yeah,
Wizard Awards for Montana, Slater, Fruit, and J-Ghost.
So yeah. I'm after getting hello, here is your race summary text off the Clemfree bot, so yeah, let's see how bad of a race it was. I lasted a corner, unfortunately.
If you can invite the lads into the party.
Yep. Jack, if you want to invite those suggested players there.
So we'll bring in our podium finishes.
So, guys, girls, everyone, can I please get your driver of the day predictions in the chat if they weren't already sent in, please? Thank you very much.
Suggested players aren't coming up, so I'll have to invite them manually. So that's NSX underscore.
Oh no, they're here. They should be there.
We've won
now.
for Slate already. It's either Slater or Thomas, I think, would be my driver of the day. Not Thomas, sorry, Fruitful.
We should have them for the Mercedes boys and Slater there. Have they come up?
They have indeed now. It's my system playing silly buggers.
I'm not going to lie, the Mercedes looking pretty nice after the new paint job. I did not fancy it, to be fair, in the silver. I never did. The only livery I liked of the Merc was the 2014 one, where they had that blackberry on the side of it. It looked really nice, to be fair. The old school cars. Montana, make sure your party audio is being shared. And now we just have to wait for Slater and Vaporizer. I'll suggest Slater there. He's in now. Slater's here as well.
Yeah, I mean I can understand him.
Montana is in, so
just waiting for Vaporizer, I think.
Having quite the debrief at Mercedes, I would have thought.
Right, while we are waiting for Vaporizer, I'll come on to Slater, P3.
Yeah, P3, Connor.
How'd you find that race? Bit of a sweaty one, I think, was it?
Yeah, I'd say I lost about 5 kilos during that race, I say.
How did you find it?
It was hard. It's just the dirty air in the middle sector is hard, and I had a bit of straight line speed in the car, but just to keep up with them was a bonus. And
we were saying actually,
engineer.
Yeah, we
were
saying that we actually thought you might have had a higher downforce setup because on a couple of laps you made up so much time on the car in front of you, but then I actually said that you like a very low kind of downforce setup. So yeah, it's a good race anyway, because to keep that gap as well, because I think you knew from the stream as well that the lads in front had all the 3-second penalties.
Yeah, I knew the second last lap, so I said, so just keep it as it is.
Yeah, there was no need to push any harder or anything like that. But very, very hard luck on that 0.036 seconds of second place. That's awful.
That is pre-season as well.
Yeah. Oh.
I bet you felt the jump on the McLarens was deserved there after one of them had you off at Blanchimont at lap 1.
Yeah.
I think it was Yelta that pushed you wide.
I take it as it is anyway.
Yeah. Bit of handbags.
That's it. Get the elbows out.
Yeah, that's it. You love to see that. I know you like a bit of elbows anyway. But right, I don't know if Vaporizer is joining, but right, we'll go on to I think we'll go on to Montana. Montana?
Yeah, hi.
Hello. How P1 again? P1 Sebastian. So Nico Rosberg. Anyway, so
I wasn't even going to bring that up. I was going to leave him alone, Connell. Just so you know, that wasn't me. I said nothing.
But yeah, so right, P1 again. Tell me, how did you find that after the safety car and all that, pitting and making up all the places?
I was a bit pissed with qualifying because that was a bullshit lap.
Where did you actually invalidate?
Tell us how you really feel.
No, I'm really picky about stuff like this. 0.5 was possible, but bottled it. So yeah, start was basic. I just absolutely sent it. I thought side-by-side throw rouge would be a good thing with Bolin. Somehow it worked out. And from then on, it was just about staying within ERS, DRS with Vincent as a vaporizer, so we could get away from the pack together. Obviously, safety cars made these a bit difficult. The good old Montana safety car restarting technique helped separating it a bit.
You actually caught a couple of drivers behind you sleeping a little bit, so
Yeah,
that
I hope
was
they
a
would
good
be a
egg.
bit better. I hope we could drop bowling, but we couldn't. Then I did some really good laps. I'm really happy with that, and pulled away from Vaporizer. Just managed the race, and at the end slowed down again to give Vaporizer a slipstream up Blanchimo, which might have helped him get P2, otherwise it would have been very close. So yeah, maximum points, almost. Someone stole the fastest lap.
Oh,
But yeah, I take it. Not racing next week, so need every point I can get.
well, you've extended your championship lead anyway, so I think that's the main thing.
A difficult week for Williams as well, fruit a bit low down there.
Yeah.
How was it for you during the race? Obviously, it looked like Berlin had a slightly more pace than the Mercedes guys, and then he just made a few mistakes at the end, which gave him a couple of penalties. He dropped away.
Yeah, that was really scary actually. He had so much traction out the corners, I wonder why. Paddocks. But no, I think the pace was quite equal. I was just struggling a bit on tires and DRS all the time. But I obviously didn't take as much risk as him as well, so I don't know, but he was really quick, so congrats to
Yeah, he
him.
was surprisingly quick actually. It's nice to see him up there, like someone to try come after the 2V and the Mercs, but yeah. It was a bit quiet in the last couple of laps anyway. It was kind of a big DRS train, and I saw in the last couple of laps you kind of dropped a bit of pace. Were you just kind of starting to relax as you knew lads the penalties behind you, or was it just kind of tires were starting to go off a little bit?
No, I think I just want to make sure I don't get a penalty, and
Yeah, that's
I
it.
wanted to be there to give Vaporizer a tow if he
Yeah,
needed it,
yeah.
which he did at the end. So, but yeah, I wasn't quicker than Bolin there, so Bolin had the pace.
Yeah, so yeah, right. Another Tier 1 race, rounded off. And so I think we have AM Tier 1 this evening at 2 AM British
2
time.
a.m. Europe,
So,
2 a.m.
yeah.
UK time, and I think 9 o'clock US time.
Yes,
We'll have to have that
so
on catch up.
if you are around and awake, please do tune in for that, because that is some good races in there, race 2 races.
I'll be there
So-
making a fool of myself.
And I might be racing it, I don't know. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, please do give us a follow. If you are feeling very generous, please do subscribe. Please make sure check out our merch store. We have very nice clothes over there. Go for birthday presents,
We
go for
do.
Christmas presents, stuff like that. I will be getting one, I think, myself. Go check all the social medias, YouTube, Twitter, and all that. And have a good evening, everyone, and goodbye. Bye.